He ruled the charts and the boardroom, but not everyone bowed. From bold disses to full-blown beefs, here are the rappers who never feared Diddy. Welcome to Celeb Love. Let's dive in. Number 1 on the list today, 50 Cent. 50 Cent has never been one to bite his tongue, especially when it comes to Diddy. In the early 2000s, Fifth crossed paths with Diddy in the industry. He even ghost wrote on Diddy's Let's Get It.
In the Bentley red at 150, straight lose it, love two things, my family, my music.
And J-Lo, then dating Diddy, pushed for a collaboration. But 50 didn't even consider it. "I didn't party with him," he told The Hollywood Reporter. "He's a businessman. I'm a creator. Different vibes." Things got tense in 2006 when 50 dropped The Bomb.
One thing about my music, it hits you, feel the pain. Nigga, I take control of your brain. Listen now, nigga, I'm not playing.
Hinting that Diddy was tied to Biggie's murder, a claim Diddy has always denied. Later, Diddy partnered with Ciroc and helped make it a household name. Not long after, 50 launched Effin' Vodka and went straight for Diddy's neck, mocking Ciroc as grape juice and bragging, "Mine's real vodka." But the real drama hit in 2024. After Diddy's home got raided amid sexual trafficking lawsuits, which he denies, 50 went full detective mode, teasing a Netflix doc on the case. "I've been saying this for 10 years, he shrugged. "Now y'all see it." Diddy might have ruled hip-hop's boardroom, but 50 never feared him. Not then, not now. But 50 wasn't alone. Another rap giant threw his first jab years before. At number 2 on the list, Suge Knight. Back in the 90s, West Coast rap had a giant in Suge Knight, co-founder of Death Row Records. Over on the East Coast, Diddy was building his own empire with Bad Boy Records. What started as a regional rivalry soon became one of hip-hop's most infamous feuds, the East Coast versus West Coast beef. In the 1995 Source Awards, Suge used his time on stage to take a jab at Diddy without even saying his name.
Any artists out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
Clearly calling Diddy out. Years later, after Suge's legal troubles and 2017 arrest, Diddy was still standing and apparently still had jokes. In 2019, Diddy hosted a party at his New Jersey mansion and invited Snoop Dogg. With drinks flowing and the energy high, Snoop broke out some of his classic dance moves. Diddy joined in and later posted a video of the moment on Instagram, throwing a playful jab at Suge's old comments. He captioned it, "Look at this dude, Puff, all up in the videos, all up in the records. Let's enjoy life," complete with laughing emojis. But while Diddy may have had his moments, the tables turned once again, because not long after, he found himself facing legal trouble of his own and eventually ended up behind bars too. Speaking of legal troubles, one rapper's feud with Diddy ended in bloodshed. At number 3 on the list, Tupac. The beef between Tupac Shakur and Diddy Combs was part of the East and West Coast beef. On one side, you had Diddy's Bad Boy Records in New York. On the other, Suge Knight's Death Row Records in California, where Tupac was signed. Things were already tense, but it got real after one particular night. On November 30th, 1994, Tupac was shot 5 times in a robbery at Quad Studios in New York. He survived, but he became suspicious. Tupac didn't come right out and say Diddy set him up, but he believed people from Bad Boy, including the notorious B.I.G., knew more than they were letting on. In a 1995 interview with Vibe magazine, Tupac shared what he saw that night. He remembered seeing Diddy standing off to the side and acting like nothing had happened. "Nobody approached me. I noticed nobody would look at me," he said. He added, "It's between me and him, and only he knows." Tupac felt betrayed, especially after everything he had done for Biggie before his rise to fame. Then came 1996, and hit him up.
First off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim. West side when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player.
Tupac went after Bad Boy with full force, rapping, "Fuck Bad Boy" as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. Though he didn't name Diddy directly, it was obvious who he was aiming at. The song was Tupac's response to Biggie's "Who Shot Ya?", a track he felt mocked his shooting. At the time, most people focused on Tupac versus Biggie, but behind the scenes, Diddy's name was being whispered more and more. Years later, those whispers turned into accusations. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a former gang member, publicly claimed Diddy once put money on Tupac's head. Tupac was gunned down on September 7, 1996, while riding in a BMW with Suge Knight. He died days later. The mystery of who killed him has never been fully solved. but the rumors kept circling back to Bad Boy. Even now, the talk hasn't died down. In 2024, Eminem reignited the fire with a song called Fuel, Shady version.
Domino effects of Tupac's murder like facial tissue. Whose clock should I clean next? Plus, still he's in police handcuffs, guilty.
In it, he rapped that Diddy might have had a hand in both Tupac and Biggie's deaths. One line hits especially hard. Puffs, till he's in police handcuffs, guilty. Will he step up? Want more on Pac and Diddy's chaotic history? Check out our Tupac Love Live video. Hit the eye icon or find the link in the description after this video. At number 4, Jay-Z. Back in the 90s, Jay-Z and Diddy moved in the same circles, even collaborating on tracks like Young G's and Do You Like It? Do You Want It? But behind the scenes, things between them weren't smooth. In 2015, things got tense backstage at Kanye West's Yeezy Season 1 fashion show. According to Kanye, Jay-Z had stepped in to break up an altercation between Diddy and Drake. No details spilled, but it hinted at deeper friction between their camps. Their careers took very different paths. Diddy was the ultimate 90s kingmaker, launching Biggie and shaping hip-hop's sound. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, alongside Dame Dash and Biggs Burke, built Rockefeller Records into an empire. While Bad Boy's influence faded over time, Jay's business moves and ability to dodge the legal drama that tangled up Diddy turned him into a billionaire. Now, with Diddy facing serious federal charges, old rumors have resurfaced. A dismissed civil lawsuit tried to tie Jay-Z to a 2000 assault case, which he called a blackmail attempt. No charges stuck, but the divide between them grew, and Jay quietly built an empire without ever needing Diddy. At number 5, The Lox. When Jadakiss, Styles P, and Chic Louch, better known as The Lox, signed to Bad Boy Records in 1996, they thought they had hit the jackpot. At the time, Diddy's label was the place to be. But what started as a dream deal quickly turned into a creative nightmare. Coming straight out of Yonkers, New York, The Lox were raw, street-bred lyricists. Signing with Bad Boy felt like joining the NBA champs. It was like being drafted by the Bulls in their prime, Jadakiss later said. They rubbed shoulders with legends, lived the high life, and even scored hits like their feature on It's All About the Benjamins.
Touch, we kept ours, popping crystals, freaking the three-quarter reptiles, enormous cream.
But there was a problem. Bad Boy's glossy, radio-friendly sound didn't match their gritty style. Diddy had them ditching their original name, Warlocks, and squeezing into shiny suits for videos. Their 1998 debut, Money, Power, and Respect, went platinum, but the trio felt like they were playing dress-up. We were watered down, Chic Louch admitted. Bad Boy was flossy. We were always underground. By 1999, tensions boiled over. The Lox wanted out badly. They launched a full-blown Free the Lox campaign, complete with protest merch and bold speeches at concerts. At Hot 97 Summer Jam in 2000, they performed in front of Diddy himself, making it clear they were done with the glitz. Then came the breaking point. Styles P threw a chair at Diddy. Yeah, that probably sealed the deal, Jadakiss later laughed. The message was clear. Let us go. Once free, the Lox linked up with DMX's Rough Riders, a label that matched their raw energy. At number 6, DMX. The early 2000s, DMX suggested that Ja's rise wasn't about talent. It involved shady business and compromises behind the scenes. And in the middle of it all was Sean Diddy Combs. DMX hinted that Ja Rule may have done more than just sign contracts to secure his spot in the game, pointing to Diddy as a gatekeeper who may have helped, but at a cost. These kinds of whispers have been around hip-hop circles for years. Rumors that some artists trade more than just lyrics for fame. Diddy, being one of the most powerful names in music, has often found himself in the middle of conspiracy talk. And DMX wasn't afraid to speak on it. He had a reputation for calling things exactly how he saw them. Raw, honest, and fearless. For DMX, it was never just about one artist. It was about exposing the dark machine behind the scenes, where Diddy's shadow loomed large. He often talked about the dark side of the industry, how chasing fame can mess with your spirit. He warned young artists about losing themselves, and he spoke openly about his own battles with faith, addiction, and the pull of the spotlight. At number 7 on the list, Nas. Back in 1999, Nas dropped one of his most talked about music videos. The video for Hate Me Now, a fiery anthem off his I Am album, featured Diddy and caused a major stir in the hip-hop world.
Don't hate me, hate the money I see, clothes that I buy, ice that I wear, flows that I try, close your eyes.
The concept behind the video was bold. Inspired by a controversial New York play where a black man played Jesus, Nas wanted to push boundaries. Diddy originally agreed to be part of the crucifixion scene alongside Nas, but after talking with his pastor and thinking more about his faith, he had a change of heart. He asked that his part be taken out of the final cut. Seems fair, until things went south. Somehow, the wrong version of the video, with Diddy still on the cross, was sent to MTV. Once it aired, Diddy was furious. He reportedly stormed into Nas's manager Steve Stout's office and smashed a champagne bottle over his head. That outburst led to Stout suing Diddy for assault. Despite all the chaos, the video stayed up and the crucifixion scene was never removed. Fans have long noted that some of Nas's lyrics like In Street Dreams and Hate Me Now seem to push back against flashy, over-the-top lifestyles, something often associated with Diddy's Bad Boy records. While Nas never called Diddy out directly in those songs, the contrast in their styles didn't go unnoticed. Fast forward to 2024-2025. With Diddy now facing serious charges including sex trafficking and racketeering, people have been watching Nas for a reaction. But true to form, he stayed silent. No statements, no social media posts, nothing. For fans who followed his journey, that silence might speak volumes. Some see it as a quiet form of resistance, while others chalk it up to Nas simply staying in his lane, just as he's always done. Meanwhile, two Harlem Kings never even let Diddy in their circle. At number 8 on the list, Cam'ron and Jim Jones. Cam'ron and Jim Jones built Dipset from the ground up, straight out of Harlem. Their grind, style, and street hustle made them stand out, and they never needed Sean Diddy Combs to co-sign them. Cam'ron's solo career took off in 1998 when he dropped Confessions of Fire under Epic Records. He kept the buzz alive through gritty mixtapes and local shows, never waiting for a big industry name to put him on. By 2001, he was signed to Rockefeller, Jay-Z and Dame Dash's powerhouse label, who just happened to be Diddy's rivals at the time. Cam had his own lane and loyal fan base, so chasing Diddy's approval was never part of his plan. Jim Jones came up as Cam'ron's hype man, but quickly stepped into the spotlight himself. His edge wasn't just in the music, it was in the business too. Jones helped turn Dipset into a full-blown lifestyle brand, from fashion to film. His strategy was always about staying tapped into the streets, not chasing the so-called gatekeepers like Diddy. Fast forward to 2024, Cam'ron found himself trending again. During a CNN interview, things got awkward when questions shifted toward Diddy and his abusive history, especially the resurfaced 2016 video showing him assaulting Cassie. Cam was clearly irritated by the line of questioning. "I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to," he snapped. The clip went viral, and fans praised Cam for staying true to himself, once again proving that he never needed to play by anyone else's rules, especially not Diddy's. At number 9 on the list, Kendrick Lamar. The friction between Kendrick Lamar and Diddy goes way back to 2013, and it all started with one line. When Kendrick dropped his verse on Big Sean's Control, he called himself the King of New York. That one line sparked outrage, especially from New York rappers who didn't take the bold claim lightly. Diddy, being one of the biggest names from NYC, was reportedly not too happy either. A month after the track's release, Top Dog Entertainment president Terrence "Punch" Henderson shared a story on the R&B Money podcast that hinted at how things escalated. While he didn't name names, the story clearly lined up with a rumored scuffle between Diddy, Kendrick, and J. Cole at a VMA afterparty in New York. According to Punch, Kendrick had just come back from overseas, and they hit a New York club to check the temperature. That's where a certain rap mogul, widely believed to be Diddy, confronted Kendrick about his verse. What started as words quickly turned into a heated back and forth, and J. Cole reportedly stepped in to defend Kendrick. That move didn't sit well with Diddy, and a scuffle broke out. Fast forward to 2024. Kendrick dropped his 6th studio album, GNX.
Since y'all pandering to choose a side, let me do it for you. Okay, fuck your hip-hop. I watch the party just die. Niggas cackling about...
On Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick rapped, "Okay, fuck your hip-hop. I watched the party just die. Nigga cackling about, now all of y'all is on trial." Fans quickly linked these lines to the wave of legal trouble surrounding Diddy. And that wasn't the first time Kendrick brushed up against Diddy's empire. This tension's been building for over a decade. Diddy ruled hip-hop with an iron grip, but not everyone played by his rules. Now, with Diddy facing the biggest battle of his life, do you think his downfall was inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who stood out most? And if you want the inside scoop on Diddy's love life or Eminem and 50's friendship, check those videos after this one. Link in the description or hit the eye icon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us who we should cover next. See you in the next one.